Wolf back. What's going on? It's your boy, the Wolf of Roto Street, RotoStreetJournal.com. We breed and feed you fantasy wolves here with a huge Week 4 fantasy tailgate. We are beyond thrilled to get going. But let's hit that intro to let everything get going as you guys join here and get your questions in.
Kuhn is the fullback with the first and goal. Kuhn gets the call. Pyle trying to get his way in for the touchdown. What a great second effort.
I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful.
Welcome on in, Wolfpack. Thank you so much for being here. We're having some technical difficulties with the sound, so I hope you can hear me okay. Please comment on in. If not, I know CJ's mic was having some issues. Hopefully he'll be here with us shortly. I think it's on my end with the sound not working well. But keep me posted whether you can hear me or not. I'll be looking for that in the comments real quick to make sure we're good. But thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome to Week 4, one of the biggest weeks of regular season action we've ever had. Tom Brady returning to Gillette as a Patriots fan this week means more than ever. So I cannot wait to get going. Sounds like you guys can hear me. Love to hear it. Hopefully, Chris, it will be back, but ultimately I think it's on my end. So sorry about that, CJ. I don't know why the audio is not coming through. But ultimately, we are back. We are live. And thank you guys so much for being here. If you don't mind giving us a thumbs up, sharing, retweeting, commenting, all that good stuff helps us get out to more people, continue to grow the pack. We have some interesting promotions we cannot wait to preview with you. Plus, I got a great pulled pork I've got on the smoker that I need to be checking in on every now and again. So welcome in, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to start with the Thursday night football takeaways, starting with Jaden Robinson. Oh, my God, the guy is back. 18 carries, 78 yards, and 2 scores. Carlos Hyde was a surprise scratch with a shoulder issue, and we got James Robinson. Still not hitting 20 carries, which he crushed all the time. Still 18 carries, though, a season high. They looked good. They looked strong. So good to see him getting that quality work and looking like a high-end RB2, maybe even that low-end RB1 we've become so accustomed to. Ultimately, we also saw Tyler Boyd lead the team in targets for the Bengals, 11 targets, 9 catches, 118 yards. Great target hog effort. We saw Laviska Shenault finally using that deep speed, much more than just like the 3.0 ADOT he was averaging, much higher depth of target in the double digits finally. Ultimately went 6 catches, 99 yards, and did not score, just right down at the one, but also had an 11-yard rush. So that versatility, he's been dropped in a ton of leagues heading into the week. So check your waiver wire. Did Laviska Shenault get dropped? Could be an interesting pickup for those of you that saw him out there. Jamar Chase still looking good. 6 catches, 77 yards. Not bad, but didn't have that touchdown the first time he has not scored yet this year. And last but not least, DJ Chark is going to be out indefinitely. Broken ankle, might be season ending, which obviously stinks for him. Prayers up for a speedy recovery, but hopefully it will go quick for him. There's also, fantasy-wise, again, that's what we're here to analyze. Nobody's celebrating an injury, of course, but this does make things a little bit clearer from a target perspective. Marvin Jones will remain the alpha he already kind of was. Viska might now see some more deep work. So this was a big stock-up game for Laviska Shenault, ultimately down with Chark. CJ's back. CJ, can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
So here's the deal, CJ. I bet the people can hear you. Because I played the intro and I couldn't hear the music. It's something going on my end. I have no idea why.
Gotcha.
They probably can hear you. I don't know if the comments, if you can hear CJ or not. He's definitely right now. But I don't know. CJ, say something. Hills is listening and she can hear you. We can
Hills,
hear him.
can you hear me? Hills, can you hear me?
Computer. There must be some sort of speaker setting, general.
Yeah, DJ says he can hear me.
But maybe I need to leave and come back in. Mike, default Mike. You hear him.
I can hear him.
Yeah, so CJ can be heard. Sorry, guys, for these technical difficulties. We haven't had any of these type of issues yet, but I'm gonna leave real quickly and come right back in, CJ. Hold down the fort. Talk about Gronkowski being out and what that means, and I will be right back and hopefully join you in a sec.
Hillary, does he need an invite back in? Do you know? All right, so we're gonna run without Will for a sec. Rob Gronkowski got absolutely crushed. So it means that he will not be in the lineup today and probably for another few weeks. With Gronk out of the lineup, we're looking at probably Brait, top 15 tight end. Howard is stashable, but once again, he hasn't really ever done anything in Tampa. So that just going to be a tough situation overall. It kind of sucks because obviously we want here in New England, we want Brady, we want Gronk back, we want Tom to bend over the Patriots. Well, actually we don't, but without Gronk, it's going to be an issue. So he was a top 5 tight end for us, and now he's going to plummet down Wolf's rest of season rankings, where he is now. Let me see. He'll probably still be a top 10 tight end, but with Gronk not in the lineup, it's going to be tough for the Patriots. You got it?
I still can't hear you. This sucks. I'm sorry, guys. We did set up. We're trying to get like a tailgate thing set up outside. I don't know if the Wi-Fi is messed up. My YouTube was playing audio, so I could like hear you talking, but then when I get in StreamYard, it's not working. I have no idea why either. I'm looking here, seeing if there's like a box that could be checked that I'm missing. I don't know. I don't know what it is, sadly. Play sound when guest enters. Shit. I don't know, man. I could have you here and I could throw you questions and like look over your mouth thing, but it might be just weird and awkward and clunky to try to do multiple of us at once, CJ. Without me being able to hear you. I don't know why it's doing that. Edit mic settings. No. And I couldn't hear anything when I first started. So are you able to see the banners? Are you able to move through it, or do you need me to be able to do that? Like, give me a thumbs up. I know you can't.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say you could run through the news while I try to restart my computer, but that's not going to work. CJ, might have to let you go for this podcast. I hate to send you back, but I think something's going on my end. So sadly, I think this is where we say goodbye. I know you have some Instagram posts. Thank you guys for your patience with our technical issues here. Cheers, CJ. We'll chat after the show for sure. Maybe I'll see you for pulled pork later. I have no idea. I hope so. But see you later. Sorry, guys, for those difficulties. Something's wrong with my StreamYard where I cannot hear any of the audio coming through on CJ's end. So we're letting him go. He probably already talked about Gronkowski. I put Brait at tight end 15. Howard is also stashable because this looks like it might be a multi-week injury. He probably already covered all that. So we'll keep moving forward. We have some other tight end streamers like Will Dissly emerging. We're going to talk about a little bit, though, if you're in a Gronk hole at this point. Giovanni Bernard is also going to be out. That does boost Fournette. He jumped up to like my running back 28, 29. Still don't love him. But if anything, the Pats are going to do their best to force the Bucs to beat them through the run game. So I ultimately think that could be a boost for Gio Bernard being out to Leonard Fournette. Now becomes usable, whereas nobody was usable before. Now you could probably trust Fournette, who's going to see all that passing down work. You do not trust Ronald Jones at all in that role. We got Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, this explosive juggernaut offense. How are you going to stop these receivers, right? Both of them are out. That's how you stop this offense. They weren't doing a whole ton anyways. It wasn't this monstrous team that couldn't be stopped. Todd Downing, a horrible offensive coordinator, not making the most of this bevy of weapons that he had. So that sucks. But ultimately, we got Ryan Tannehill off your radar. Don't even think about starting him. I'd rather have Taylor Heineke in there for sure. My QB 15 of the week against Atlanta. Tannehill's like my QB 25. No interest, maybe even worse than that, because the top target here, and maybe, just maybe, if you're desperate for a streamer, here's a guy, Nick Westbrook. I don't even know how to say his whole name. But he's an intriguing potential prospect, only 3,200 on DraftKings as well. He's the one that Tannehill said, this guy made big plays for us in training camp, contested catches against Tampa Bay when they had joint practices. They forged this rapport. And the bigger thing, they love how he blocks. And yeah, you're not getting fancy points for that, but that's the guy that the coaches are going to dial up with regularity when they need somebody. So I'm a big fan of this guy. If you need a desperation guy, I'm a big fan of 3,200 on DraftKings. If you're desperate, he's only 10% rostered in leagues right now. Give him a toss out, 50 yards and a TD on 4 catches last week, caught all 4 of his targets. 2 of them were in the red zone as well. So he's a big body guy, big play guy that they're going to right now. They're going to need with these other guys. Chester Rogers, Josh Reynolds. I'd go with Nick Westbrook over there with these guys out. Diontae Johnson and Juju are off the injury report, fully ready to go. My question here is which one gets Jair Alexander? Because one of them is going to have a feast day. Claypool's out. That's tons of targets. That's 15 targets last week. He's out. So that vacates a good amount of looks for Diontae and Juju. My question is who's he going to follow? Let me know in the comments. You guys think you have any read on the situation or if a tweet comes out about this. But ultimately, it's tough. It's tough to know. My guess is he's going to go on Diontae, and that would lower his appeal. He shuts down everybody he faces, does Jair Alexander. So Juju might get a boost up, but then he might go on Juju because he's a bigger name, the bigger body. I don't know. We'll find out. Either way, too, like Big Ben looks so trash that it might not matter at all. Najee Harris also gets a slight tick up, 19 targets last week, 14 receptions. Insane. Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton out. Does Kenny Golladay finally emerge? He is off the injury report. This, if ever, is going to be a week for this guy to get peppered in targets to prove he was worth the massive contract that he got. I still don't trust him, though. I wouldn't really want him in lineups too much. If I have him, okay, maybe. If that's like your wide receiver 3, your desperation flex, okay, but I'd rather have like a Christian Kirk, for example, than Golladay today. You could also potentially go with DraftKings to Colin Johnson. He's 3,200 as well if you wanted to pivot away from Nick Westbrook. So is Kadarius Tooney. They said he's going to play that slot role, but he also doesn't do, according to Joe Judge, what Sterling Shepard does. So they're not going to force him to Sterling Shepard like target hog role. So keeping that in mind. Lamar Jackson is expected to play for the Ravens here. So that's good news there. He's expected in. I'm still a little bit lower on him. I think Denver's defense is really good, and he's been a great rusher. I mean, he's averaging the most rush yards per game, nearly 90 yards a game on the ground. That's huge, on the upside, but still, is still looking kind of figured out as a passer. His weapons aren't there. And speaking of his weapons, Rashad Bateman's not going to be back this week. He made good progress, they said at camp, or practice rather this week, but not going to be inserted back into the lineup quite yet. He's only about 15% rostered. Definitely a guy worthwhile to stash. You get another week of IR eligibility if you're not using that spot in your league. What are you doing? Don't be sleeping at the wheel. Put in Bateman there and then move in Jeff Wilson next week once you have to roster somebody else. But he's not returning quite yet this week. Somebody who is returning, though, is Curtis Samuel. He's only 3,000 on DraftKings, and he's probably going to be limited. They're going to ease him in, you'd imagine. But they did say he looked great at practice, that he was good to go, and maybe he gets the full workload. Another reason to like Taylor Heineke as a streamer. Let me know if you have quarterback questions, because I think Taylor Heineke could rip it up. Dalvin Cook is expected to play, barring a unforeseen injury. So if anything happens during warmups, then you might not have him. But all systems go, and typically when he plays, they ride him. It's not like this, we're going to have to be on a snap count, a little workload. No, they're going to ride this guy for 20-ish carries. You have Dalvin. You're not questioning Dalvin Cook. He's in your lineup if you have him, no doubt about it. But he's expected to play, so good news for his people that manage him. James Crowder's in. Elijah Moore is out. I wouldn't be tossing. They have given up the most points to wide receivers, the Titans. So I do think there's some upside here to Crowder and more specifically to Corey Davis. I actually really like Corey Davis today in a revenge game narrative. I'd be playing him over guys like Tim Patrick, depending on what the outlook looks like. But I really do like Corey Davis here. I wouldn't trust Crowder quite yet, but you could step right in and add 3K again on DraftKings. Could be interesting. Elijah Moore, the breakout seems to be fully halted. If you were, for whatever reason, still hanging on to him, I'd let him go wherever I had him. You guys should do the same. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon for him. Continuing forward, MVS is placed on injured reserve. It's not huge, but Alan Lazard could end up getting more looks. You might see 1 million targets go Devontae Adams' way. You knew you were starting him anyways, but Lazard could be a desperation fill-in. I would still prefer a Westbrook, for example, a Nick Westbrook, but Curtis Samuel if he's out there for sure. Justin Fields is going to start this week. Can we go back after last week's dud? I don't think so. I mean, it's going against Detroit, the easiest possible matchup. But it's not like Cincy. I mean, we saw Trevor Lawrence has been awful all year, run all over them. So why couldn't Fields do it? Do you have faith in Nagy? I guess I do have faith in the sense he said he might give up the play calling duties to Bill Lazor, who had this offense humming at a much better clip to end last year. Nagy looks lost. He looks horrible. He better be handing over those play calling reins. So yeah, I'm nervous though. I'd be nervous to go back to the well. In 2 QB leagues, you might have to do it. There is still a good rushing floor, you'd think. And Detroit, if there's ever a defense that's going to get done against, it's Detroit. But I would be cautious here. I wouldn't even call it cautiously optimistic. I'd be very nervous to start him. At 5,200 on DraftKings, it's still a great punt if you're looking for a GPP flyer at the QB position. I prefer paying up a few $100 to get to Heineke myself. I'm not going to Fields if I don't have to. 2 QB leagues, maybe you have to, but I don't really want that. Eli Mitchell is out versus the Seahawks. They're giving up the most points on the ground, so Sermon gained some appeal. He rose 9 spots in my rankings ahead of many guys. He's right into my top 25 running backs. Didn't look amazing last week, but still found the end zone. It'll probably be Kyle Juszczyk as well, splitting some work with him. But Sermon definitely now in your starting consideration. So if you have sit starts regarding Sermon, let me know. I'm happy to cover all of those. And then we got Gerald Everett. He's going to be out today, and that's most likely making Disley potential streamer. That was just a couple of years ago. Disley was a top 7 guy in fantasy, one of the best tight ends you could have off the waiver wire. And now, it's been a while since we've seen that for him. He suffered some brutal injuries. He did have a 39-yard catch last week, though. Somewhat intriguing there to see that type of work. And then ultimately, this is a team that really does pepper their tight ends in the red zone. We've seen Gerald Everett see some looks there as well. The 49ers have been middle of the road, even a little bit below average in terms of defending the tight end. So I do think Disley at 2,600 on DraftKings at, barely owned right now in fantasy leagues, he could end up being a play. So check that out if you're desperate for a tight end. Will Disley could be a guy that does something for you. We mentioned it. Speaking of better tight ends on the opposite end of the field, George Kittle is expected to play. That's huge. It would have obviously had some serious implications should he have sat in week 4. Ross Dwelly would have been a sleeper. Ayuk and Debo would have seen a million targets, but he's going to play. And I like him. My tight end 3, I think Seattle, they got destroyed by tight ends so far this year. They haven't played anyone of Kittle's caliber. He's due for a big breakout game. I'd be locking him in the lineup, so I'm not worried about the cap. Lockett also expected to play. He's going to be in your lineups, barring a great set of weapons. I did see somebody mentioning Mike Williams or Lockett. Okay, go Williams. You don't need to have the injury risk, despite Lockett having as big of a ceiling as everybody. Most people, though, you're not going to have the luxury of benching a guy like Tyler Lockett. Darrell Henderson, one of my highest running backs in terms of ECR this week. Love the guy. He's anticipated to be active. The Cardinals are a bottom half run defense. And anytime he's been active, Henderson has seen 17+. He's been the clear focal point. I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of Henderson whenever he's out there. Maybe Sony Michel earned a little bit more work since his last spot duty, but it wasn't like he was anything special. So I think Henderson's a nice 15 to 20 touches, a game that's going to have a ton of points going back and forth. Give me him. Big fan of him. Last 2 here. Melvin Gordon is expected to play, kind of ruining the appeal of Javonte Williams at least for another day. So we have to hang on to watch him blow up. You could still get either guy, I guess, in there. Denver's actually been bottom 7 against the run in terms of points allowed. So intriguing in that sense. But it would have been a smash spot for Javonte had he been out. Josh Jacobs is questionable. Sadly, it's on Monday Night Football, so we don't really know. Peyton Barber did see 26 touches, was 5th in the league in running back touches last week. 1,100 yards, 113 yards, 101 of them coming after contact. I mean, the guy was a beast. So if we knew what was going on, if we knew Jacobs was out, Barber would be a lock. And what I recommend is if you're trying to wait on this, maybe you get Renfro, who did score last week at over 15 fantasy points in PPR leagues, has seen 7 or more targets in every game, like steady, unsexy. He could be your backup plan if you're waiting for Barber. But at the end of the day, too, that's 2 roster spots going to this, not that appealing of a situation either. So not into that. And last couple here, Ramondre and Le'Veon Bell. If you're talking about upside stashes, I also love JJ Taylor. In fact, I probably like JJ Taylor more than either of these guys, but we've already talked about both those guys at length this week. So I wanted to highlight Ramondre Stevenson, who has, I think, more upside than JJ Taylor. Can pass protect, can catch. Doesn't obviously look like James White, but could be the guy that takes the James White role from the start. Now, why is that so valuable? 18.5% target share for these guys. So Ramondre could have himself that role. And then if he's looking good, he could just eat right into Damian Harris's workload. He led the league in preseason rushing, just at 10% rostered, a great upside stash. If you got no one, you got some bench trash to cut, you want something more intriguing than him. I think Ramondre is one of the higher upside guys from here on out. JJ Taylor, though, the more natural fit, very explosive. At the end of the day, it's probably going to be Bolden because he's safer, but he's not going to be good. He's nothing for fantasy. So not worried about Bolden, not picking him up, but JJ Taylor, Stevenson, intrigued to see what those guys do in fantasy. And then in terms of our prop bets this week, unfortunately, CJ, my computer was not working. So maybe he's in the chat. I have no idea. We do have an Instagram post so far that I can share with you. We'll pull it on up. This one it just got posted from Thrive Fantasy. And let me just read really quick. I'm going to put them on the bottom line here. If you want any details about Thrive Fantasy, again, thumbs up, gets us out to more people. But let me let you guys know what that Thrive Fantasy is. Let me stop the screen share because I did not do that the right way. Share screen, share, not the entire screen. A tab. There we go. Thank you guys again. So likes getting us out to more people. Now here is your Thrive Fantasy details. This is like the GPP of draft, prop betting. It's kind of your DraftKings tournament, the biggest payout you can possibly get for prop betting. So if that's your thing, and I know so many of you guys are here to look for CJ's picks, then you got to listen up here. They've got a 100% deposit match going on up to $250 for new users if you use the code RSJ. Do us a solid, log on in, use RSJ, deposit at least $10. You'll get a free ticket into the 50,000 guaranteed contest. 10K going to first, $20 entry. Again, free ticket for those of you that use code RSJ and deposit at least $10. And the best part right now is there's tons of overlay. About half of the contests are getting filled right now, but they have a guaranteed prize pool. So you have better like than 50-50 shot right now to just get your money back. Never mind win potentially 10K. If you deposit $100, you get 3 tickets. Again, using code RSJ. This is Thrive Fantasy. You can go to thrivefantasy.com, use RSJ, or you can use the app, Thrive Fantasy app. I will say from the top, I joined yesterday. There was a little bit of trouble getting my money entered in there. It's not the smoothest onboard. It's not like DraftKings where you like, take my money, it's easy. Go, let's burn this money in the wind. They make it a little bit more secure, and it's a little bit trickier to update that, which is a good thing. But if you are having trouble getting loaded, getting in there, their support team was awesome. They got me through it just a few minutes. You can email their admin team, admin@thrivefantasy.com. You can talk to their social media at Twitter. Very responsive. They'll help you out. They want more and more people to be joining, and they want to make sure you have an easy time getting in there. So check out Thrive Fantasy. These are our picks. The way it works is you're going to have to pick 10 of these. You can check this out on Instagram. Me and CJ underlined where we like to go. You get points rated. Some are worth more points than others based on how risky they are. We both like Josh Allen to go under 280.5 pass yards. I don't think he's going to need to throw that much. Derrick Henry over for a nice 110. We like that one together. CeeDee Lamb both over 35.5. Now we differ here. I think Dak's definitely going to be throwing 22 over that, but CJ thinks under. I think he's definitely, or completions rather. I think he's going to hit that because it's going to be a much more competitive game than they've had these last few weeks. Tyreek Hill, meanwhile, 7.5 catches. We're both under that given his last few performances. He could still have a big day to be under that. We think Jalen Hurts goes over 1.5 total pass touchdowns. Easy one in my opinion. Kirk Cousins, I do not think is throwing an interception, so I took under for a nice 125 points. CJ went over. Nick Chubb at a half touchdown. We both think he's going to go over that and score this week. We also both think Odell's scoring. One of my favorite plays this week, by the way. If you have any questions on Odell, let us know. We both think he's going over. Now, this is already more than 10. You only have to pick your 10 favorites. You also have to remember you're getting points based on the riskiness. So I like to go for a few of the risky ones, a few of the more sure ones, in my opinions. But we both love Odell to score. We both think Daniel Jones is going to have an awful day against the Giants and be under that 281 total pass and rush. 95.5. I think he's under. CJ thinks he's over. I just don't think they're going to need him that much. And then the last set here, Allen Robinson, 62.5. I think he's under. CJ thinks he's over and rebounds big. I'm not trusting this offense at all. Cooper Kupp, I think he's over 7.5. CJ thinks it might be a Woods week, going with the under there. Kyler Murray, 2.5 TDs. That's a big 130 for CJ. I think he's going to be under 2.5 pass TDs and ints. I think he might throw 2 ints and throw 3 TDs. So I definitely hitting the over there, but only 70 points. Not doing that one. Tyler Lockett, half. I don't think he scores. I take the under 110. I like the odds. Plus, I don't think he scores. Over for CJ, but banged up. I'm taking the under there. 250.5 for Big Ben under. Aaron Jones under. And I really like this Cortland Sutton one as well. So again, just a reminder how to go there. And you can find us on our Instagram. Download Thrive Fantasy app or visit thrivefantasy.com. Deposit $10 for a free $20 ticket using code RSJ. You also get a match up to $250 right away. Boom. It's not like the little games you have to play a million of them from like trickle in there. No, they'll give it to you right away. Awesome company. Again, a little bit tricky getting on right from the start to get your money in there, but I love it after that. And then you pick the 10 props you think you're going to score the most and check it out from there. All righty, guys. That's our promo. I'm going to keep that running at the bottom if you guys have any more interest, but I'm going to stop the screen share. Now it's on to your questions, the reason you guys are all probably here in the first place. But again, check out that Thrive Fantasy. If you want to help us out, every guy we refer there does come back to us, and we greatly appreciate you considering doing that. And maybe you'll win the 10K because, again, there's lots of overlay there. All righty, Omar, let's start off with a Wolfpack legend. Good to see you. Your thumbs up again. Help us get out to more people. And hopefully we'll have CJ back next week. That's my bad. My computer just not working. CJ, hope you're all recovering from last week. Pick 2 of these 4 receivers. Cooper, OBJ, AB, Debo, full PPR for Omar. I would go – so we got to pick 2 of 4. I think I'm going OBJ and Debo here. Cooper maybe over OBJ, but he's a big risk. That's like the boomer bust. I think I'm going to rule out AB for you, Omar. Bring it down to those 3. I like Debo. I like OBJ. I feel great about OBJ against, to be honest, against Minnesota. Second most points to wide receivers. Really a big fan of that. So yeah, I'm going Debo. I'm going OBJ. Fatty Mateo, happy Sunday. Need a wide receiver too. full PPR in case Keenan doesn't play Monday. I picked up Ruggs. Good. Or I can bench Keenan now in favor of Ayuk, Galladay, Cordell. I just waited out for Ruggs. I think Keenan's worth it, and I'm not too worried about his. Not such a huge new news from today, Fatty. I doubt Keenan's going to be sitting that one out. Need a flex full PPR. Jamal, Ayuk, Galladay, Cordell, or Mike Davis. I'm a big fan of Cordell. I do like Ayuk as well, playing 90% of the snaps, 90% of the routes, with Trent Sherfield just dropping to 2%. That's exactly what we wanted to see. And he caught a touchdown. What would you know? This guy's actually pretty good, Kyle Shanahan. Let's play him. So I really do like Ayuk. It's between him and Cordell for me. I think I'm going to roll with Ayuk there, Fatty Mateo. I like that. Billy Jagier. Good to see you, and thanks for the pants this week. Full PPR. I picked 2 running backs: Henderson, Melvin, D. Harris. I'm going to bench Harris there. I'm not a big fan of him. And it's a garbage opponent. So I hope you're not talking about Keen. I don't know if you're facing her or not. Maybe you're facing me in the family league. I don't know if that's what you're referring to. Probably Tom is my guess, and hopefully. Absolute garbage for nice safe floor. Should do fine. I think Henderson and Melvin are your best floors there. Harris is a boomer bust. Might find the end, but that's a tough Monday to go against. Hills, if you don't mind spritzing it when you get a chance, that would be fine. I don't think I'm going to be able to get out there. What a glorious Sunday. Is waiting for Peyton Barber worth the risk? I don't think so, Charlie. I just play Javonte, unless you have a nice, good backup there. And thanks again, guys, for being here. That thumbs up button will keep getting us out to more people. 40 people watching, but only 15 likes. Come on. We know you can do better there. Matthew Notu, good to see you here, brother. Need some help today with the lineup. A-Rob or Corey Davis, Eli Mitchell or Mike Davis, both full PPR. Eli Mitchell's not playing, so that makes that one easy for you. I don't really like Mike Davis. That sucks that you have to play him, but ultimately that's where you're at, Notu. And then it's so hard because, like, A-Rob's facing Detroit. If he's ever going to break out, it should be this week, right? But I'm not banking on a breakout from A-Rob at this point. He's been horrendous. Corey Davis, I like the revenge game narrative. You know, facing the worst team against wide receivers, the most points allowed. I'm going there. I think they're going to need points. I think even though they have no receivers there, the Titans, Henry's just going to steamroll this team. So Corey Davis on the other side, they're going to need him, and they're going to pepper him. All righty. What up, Mitch? Hello to CJ. I wish he was still here. Again, my computer giving us issues. I don't know why today. Full PPR with return yards as well as flex. Chase Edmonds or Cordarrelle Patterson. I would go, especially with the return yards bonus, I think Cordarrelle. Chase against the Rams D, that's not an easy matchup. Cordarrelle's been, the RB9 right now in PPR leagues. So I'm going to roll with that, Mitch Chavez. What's up, Sarah Riley, Mike Davis, Cordarrelle Patterson, Marquise Brown, Javonte Williams. If you only need one, not easy. I think I like Cordarrelle, though. Again, I think he's underrated this year. So give me Cordarrelle. That's the guy I'm rolling with. Need 2 to start. Have PPR, Javonte, Pollard, Pitts, and Sony. You can't do Sony with Henderson back. None of these are great options. Sorry, Mario Rob. Not a big fan of any of these, but I'm going to probably – unless Henderson sits, then that Sony's like the best option of these. I'd probably go Pollard just because he's been getting a lot of work. He's looking solid. And then maybe Javonte. They're giving him looks. I don't know if that fumble in the goal line, though, is going to come back to bite him. I don't want to trust Pitts yet. I don't trust Pitts yet. I don't want to, and I don't. I don't trust anybody in Atlanta, really, not even Ridley. I trust Patterson the most, which tells you everything you need to know about that offense. Oh, man. Tough stuff. But I'm going to go Javonte Pollard, I think. Should I start Knox or Cook at tight end? I like Knox a lot this week. He's one of my favorite streamers, William. He scored in 2 out of 3 games so far. Houston's given up the most receptions to tight ends and also multiple touchdowns. So I really think he's going to have a big day. So big fan of Knox today, one of my favorite streamers at 3,600. Always coming at you from New Jersey. What up, David? Great to see you, man. Full PPR, tight end, Dalton, Schultz, or Pitts. In that case, I'm going to go Pitts. I think Schultz is I'm with you. Schultz is an anomaly last week. I'm not going to trust that. I want to see multiple weeks of that before I want to trust that. I'll go for the phenom Pitts and hope he just finds the end zone. Traded Thielen, Edmonds, and Eli Mitchell for Tyreek Hill. You won that trade. Eli Mitchell's looking like he's closer and closer to useless. So Edmonds and Thielen, come on. I think that's a great win, William. Well done there. Diontae Johnson or Emmanuel Sanders, non-PPR. I would go non-PPR. I'd probably still go Diontae. He's the target hog. I know that matters less with non-PPR leagues, but still, unless he's locked down by Jair, we know if it goes into the game, we know Jair's going to be there. If there's anything about that Preble, then you switch it. But right now, I think Deontay's the better option. Hey, boys. Hey, what's going up, Seamus? Good to hear from you. Well on my way to the top, but Kirk or Edmonds in the flex. Need points? I'm going to go with Kirk. Kirk's just been blowing it up. Even on his worst day, he had like 9 points, 10 points. I like Kirk, and they're going to need points against the Rams. That's going to be a fun one today. Austin, pick 2, full PPR. Jay Taylor, Odell, or Debo. Dare I say we bench Taylor? I mean, Miami's giving up the most points to running back, so if he's ever going to get it going, Austin, it'd be a week like this week. But I really like Odell, and I really like Debo. And especially full PPR, I think I'm benching Taylor. Let me know where you're leaning, Austin, but that's what I think I do, which sounds crazy, but that's where I'm going. What has Taylor done? He lost snaps and less fantasy points than freaking Hines last week. Full PPR, pick 1. Robert Woods, Rondale Moore, Zach Pascal, Marquez Callaway for David Campanile. I think I go to Woods. I don't love Woods this week. I recommended benching him to a lot of people, but I think that's where I'm leaning here. And again, guys, thumbs up. Help us get out to more people. We got 45 in here, only 18 likes. Let's balance that out. Usually to 50. Come on. Get us out to more people. Drop us in your share groups. All that good stuff so we can answer more questions. Pick 1, PPR. Corey Davis, Devonta Smith, Javonte Renfro for Justin Vetter. I'm going to go Corey Davis. I'm a big fan of him today. And that's bit me in the ass plenty of times being a fan of Corey Davis. So take this with a grain of salt. But I think revenge game narrative, they're going to probably need to play catch up to Derrick Henry duty. I'm going Corey Davis there. Devonta Smith's not far behind, though, Justin. I really like him in a shootout with Kansas City. Chris D'India, assuming he plays Henderson over Marquise, yeah, I would do that. Marquise could catch. I mean, he's had a great year, and last week should have been 30 points, so he should have had an amazing year so far. So I can see it if you need the upside, D'India, but I like Henderson as long as he's playing the safe 15 to 17. Jeremiah Moore, start 3. Diontae, Corey Davis, A-Rob, Scary Terry. Scary Terry, lock him in, no questions there. You really knew Jeremiah. This was best of 2. Come on. And then I think Diontae, this is a tough one from there. The easy one's Terry here. Then it gets to be a shitstorm, Jeremiah. I don't know. Honestly, I kind of want to bench A-Rob until I see it. And I know it's going to hurt if it happens against Detroit. Like, it's an obvious spot for it to happen. But just because it's obvious doesn't mean it's going to. He looked horrible with Fields last week, and Fields just looked – yes, they did him no favors as a play caller, but he was slow with his reads. He looked just like he didn't belong. And then maybe 1 week of getting shell-shocked will help him out. I don't know. So I'm probably going to bench A-Rob there, as crazy as that sounds. Cordarrelle, Gaskin, Madison, if Dalvin's out. Well, it's obviously Madison if Dalvin's out. He's better than almost every running back in the league in that case, but he's not going to be out, it doesn't seem. So I go Cordarrelle here. I really do. I'm not a fan of Gaskin. I know he saw 65% of the work last week, but it's a tougher matchup against the Colts, and they're just peppering Waddle underneath in that like kind of outlet role. So I go Patterson here, which is nuts. He's been the waiver wire pickup of the year so far. Congrats to those of you that tuned in week 1. We told you to pick him up. Darnold or Tannehill? Got to be Tannehill. I mean, I got to be Darnold, Jeremiah. Not into Tannehill at all with this weapons. Like, who's he throwing to? Well, you're talking about Westbrook might be an intriguing stream, but give me Darnold all day. He's been great. 19 or more fantasy points every single start. Got to go there. And shootout game against Dallas. All day. Love that atmosphere. QB, pick 2 for David Campanile. Stafford, Mayfield, Fields. I mentioned I think Fields here. I'm not into Mayfield that much, but I am into this shootout game. I'm into Odell today, so let's go with it. Let's go Stafford, Mayfield. What up, Giuseppe? Always good to see you. Bobby Woods, Cole Beasley, Jacoby Myers, Curtis Samuel, Renfro. I'm going Myers there. I really think they're going to have the 3rd most points to receivers. Tampa Bay is. We saw it, 14 targets last week. Now no James White, the next most dependable guy there. I think he's going to have at least 10 catches. We're certainly going to need him to. So give me Myers there. Pick 1, Cordarrelle. Yeah. Patterson, Madison. Oh, I just answered that one for you. I guess now it's a flex here. Crazy that I'm recommending Patterson over Allen Robinson. I might go Allen Robinson here because it's standard. You're looking for touchdowns. That's probably what I would do. Half PPR, fill in AJB, Tim Patrick, Singletary, Ruggs, or Westbrook. Now we got a Westbrook question. There we go, DJ Johnson. Paying attention earlier. I like it. I like Timmy Patrick, though. He hasn't been in half PPR. I think he's had 12 or more every single week. Nice, steady floor. Baltimore, not a good secondary this week. So I like that. Deleting all my social media after this so I don't have to see Heggs be the fakest fan in all the land. The Pats today. AB Devon. I love it, Ben. Good call out. Although I do love Heggs, too. So I can't be that much on your squad here. But I like that. Call out. Hags, I hope you're tuned in, baby. Come back at Ben if you are. AB, Devonta Smith, Waddle, pick one. Ah, man, a lot of good options, Ben. You're making this one tough. I kind of like Waddle. Those 14 targets, I can't get them out of my head last week. I can't. I can't get them out. Everybody heard CJay, unfortunately. But sadly, not me. I couldn't hear him. Sorry to hear it. Good morning, boys. Jacoby Myers or Ayuk? I'm going to have a nice sip of this double IPA. Nothing like that at 11 a.m. I'm going to go Myers here, especially if it's any PPR there, Tim Gray. Great to see you, brother. I like going Myers. Give me that. Ayuk or Sutton, full PPR. I'm going to go Sutton here. I don't think that Baltimore defense is anything special. Sutton, just a couple of weeks ago was you had to have him in your lineup, right? Led the league in week 2 receiving or second. I'm into him. Into him for sure. Boss, what's up, brother? Huge fan. Good to see you. I'm a huge fan of Taylor Heineke as well today. The spray's right over there.
I did it.
Oh, cool.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, it'll go back. You're good. Don't worry. Thank you, though. Yep, it's already rising. You're good. Thank you. We got the pulled pork on the smoker here, folks. So behind the scenes, big barbecue coming today. Cannot wait. Smells so damn good. Taylor Heineke, huge streamer. Let's get back to you, Bus. Love him. Absolutely love him. 20 or more fantasy points in both of his starts. Tougher matchups than the number 3 in terms of points allowed to quarterbacks. The Falcons, he's going to run all over him. He's got playmakers that can do that work. I'm loving the Taylor Heineke, Scary Terry stack. Scary Terry, exactly. Taylor Heineke, Scary Terry, Bus. Love you, man. Good to see you. DJ Johnson, Sermon, Patrick, full PPR, Callaway, Ruggs, or Corey Davis. I'm going Corey Davis. This could kick me in the ass. I've recommended him before, and more often I use him before, and he just likes to boot me in the balls. So it could go bad, but I'm into it. I'm into the revenge game narrative. I'm into the fact that more so that this is a horrible defense. I like Corey Davis today. I really do. Ugh, that's terrifying. It makes me want to puke every time I hear it. Not the safest. If you're going for safety there, DJ, it's Patrick. But I like Corey Davis today. Pat from the Rockies hacked your settings. Yeah, seriously. Try to blow me up, Christy India. What a loser. Pick 2, Tebow, Sutton, Z Moss. Moss has been looking good, but I'm going to bench him here. Can't bench Debo. No way, Aladdin. And then Sutton is an alpha. He really is, even though last week was a little disappointing. Moss, yeah, he scored in back-to-back weeks, but when that backfield is truly consistent, it's like 4 weeks in a row. Maybe that's when I'll trust him. I don't trust him at all. Eric Underwood. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're doing well, Eric. Thank you. Got 2 for you this morning. Diontae and Allen Robinson for the flex. PPR, Lamar or Carr. I can't believe you're asking that either. It's got to be Lamar. I know it's not the best of matchups, but that rushing upside is too damn juicy, Eric Underwood. So you got to go him. And I go Diontae over Allen Robinson. I need to see it from Robinson if I have a better option, if I have a decent enough option at least. So yeah, I'm going him. Pick 2, Mike Davis, Corey Davis, Trey Sermon, Jamal Williams. Corey Davis, my favorite. And I think I'm going Sermon's the upside play against Seattle, the most points allowed to running backs. I think I'm going there. Yo soy Tony, welcome to the show. Pittman or Sermon? I'm going to go Pittman there. As I just said, there is some real upside to Sermon, but Pittman's seen 12 targets in back-to-back games and should see him about 10 again this week. So I'm a fan of him, Tony. Again, guys, thank you so much for being here. That thumbs up does help us continue to get out to more people. If you don't mind, shares, retweets, all that good stuff as we get ready for the biggest week 4 of all time. Tom Brady returns to New England, baby. AB, Debo, Allen Robinson. Pick one for Ben Thompson. Debo. Love it. Charlie, Corey Davis, Christian Kirk, Manny Sanders. Ooh, Charlie, I think I'm going to go Christian Kirk here. Corey Davis is right there. Like and obviously Manny Sanders coming off a 26-point day. Like obviously has to be considered too. But I go Christian Kirk myself. I'm biased. I own him. I'm hoping for blow up. But ride him out with me if you want to, Charlie. Love it. Thoughts on Evan Ingram with wide receivers out? Maybe he goes nuts. So Tony, I didn't even really consider that angle just because he's been dinged up. He's not someone I'm trusting very often. But I'd probably go Knox though. I'm a really big fan of Knox this week. I think he's scoring a touchdown. He's scored in 2 out of 3 weeks so far, so I'm into it. Who should I put my wide receiver 2 spot ahead? Amari Cooper, Tim Patrick, or Green? You got to go Cooper here, Juan. I know he's been a bust these last couple of weeks, but he also had 40 points in week 1. So, I mean, you eat the busts. This is a week they're going to need him. I go with him, especially when those other two options are just kind of blah. Nick Hobie, pick 2, Sutton, Woods, Patrick, Juju, full PPR. I'm going to go Sutton as my favorite. I think I'm benching Woods here. I liked him. He's safe. I go probably Sutton, but then you're going to have 2 Broncos. Don't love that. And Juju, that one all comes down to Jair Alexander. I want to know who he's covering. If it's Juju, I don't want anything to do with him. If it's Diontae, I don't want anything to do with Diontae. And I want the other one vehemently. I want him horribly, as bad as it can be. I just don't know I can promise you that. So maybe you go for the Woods bounce back week. They're going to need points. It seems like it has to be him, right? I'm gonna go Sutton Woods. What side's better? Lamar, Ridley, Henry, Mahomes, Cook, Henry, Miles Sanders. I don't know, Mahomes, what you're asking there. Mike Davis or Corey Davis for Mark McAuliffe. What up, Mark? Now, from the car to tuning in live. I wish we were still there in Nashville, but that was a great time. I'm going to go Corey Davis. I know this is risky, especially because he's been a meh player these last couple of weeks, but 20 in week 1, gets his old team, facing week 3, like the worst team against wide receivers against Tennessee. Like, I don't know. All of it feels good to me. I'd be playing Corey Davis in I'm putting him in a lot of people. So let's cross the fingers. Let's hope I'm not a moron. Zach Wilson does look atrocious. So what could go wrong? A whole lot. But Mike Davis, I mean, come on. What's he done? If you're beating this Washington front, it's not going to be up at the teeth. So how are they going to attack him in the backfield? I think it's Cordarrelle day myself. So give me Corey Davis there. Since George Kittle's questionable, he's playing. I would just play Kittle here, Juan. He's going to play. Schefter said he's already in. I get the risk, and I like Knox. I really do, Juan, but not more than benching Kittle. I mean, Kittle. It's Kittle. Come on, Juan. Mike Davis or Devin Singletary for John. Ugh, gross. Mike Davis. Ugh. I don't feel good about it, but I don't like Bills running backs. Brate or Thomas at tight end. Good question with Gronk knocked out. We talked about him earlier. I'm going to go Thomas, though. Logan Thomas, Taylor Heineke's looking solid enough. And they get Atlanta, Seamus. They get Atlanta. What else do you need to know? They're going to pound them. Should I trade Chubb for Eckler in PPR? Oh, yeah, maybe, Ilias. We got a locked-in workload, especially, half PPR, and especially standard, it would be Chubb. But full PPR, Eckler, I know that week 1 didn't see a target. That was clearly enough. He's seen 9. He's seen, he's been seeing a ton of targets. So I'm back all in on Eckler in full PPR. Yeah, I'd probably rather have him. Of those defenses, I'll probably go Washington as well. I know they've been crap. They're facing Atlanta. How many times can we say it? Atlanta. Wolf, is this where you earn the likes? All righty, Fatty Mateo. I appreciate it. Let's get down to business. McManus versus Gay at kicker. You own Gay, but McManus. I love McManus. I think McManus is a stud. I would go him. Gay does have the game script, the points. They're going to need him. But I love McManus. I think he's one of the best. Jay Taylor active? I think he should be. I'd be shocked if not. And if you guys don't mind commenting, and if you see any big news break that I haven't covered already, I know some of you guys are here from the start to the end and get somehow put up with my voice for that long, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Dalvin Cook's healthy.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook's playing. But any stuff you guys see, just put it in the chat. That was expected. Alrighty, Wolf. I ended up going with D. Harris, the Car's consensus vote. Everyone in my bench scored more, but still pulled it off. The Car almost led you astray, Andres. I'm glad you got through it. I said Pittman, though, would have caused less stress. Now that you say that, I remember this question, Andres, and I told you 12 targets last week, the easiest points against receivers with Tennessee. I said Pittman, and the whole car was like, no, Travellini Patriots fan. I need Damian Harris. You listen to the Car. But I said Pittman, unless I was in a daze and you can remember otherwise. I'm 90% positive I said Pittman on that one. But I was also in a daze, so I'm not positive either. Pirates versus trash defense or Cooks versus tough Bills. You got to go Cooks. I mean, he's been playing pretty tough defenses, and he just gets it done and done and done. We're in it again. This week I played Robinson. You faced him or you played him? Like, is he on your team or is he against you? Hopefully he's on your team. 20 points. Would love to have it for you, Andres. Need 2 wide receivers and 1 flex at PPR. Sutton, Debo, B. Cooks, Pittman. Not playing Harris. I agree with not playing Harris 100%. And again, Andres, let me know in the comments, but if I'm 85% sure I recommended Pittman for you last week. I'm going to go Debo as the lock. You need 2. I would be benching. You got to bench one of them. I said play Pittman last week, but I think I'm going to bench him with these options. You can't bench Cooks, in my opinion. Can't bench Debo, in my opinion. So it comes down to Sutton versus Pittman. You really wanted to go Pittman over Sutton? I get it, but I think Baltimore secondary sucks. I think Sutton's an alpha. Last week wasn't the best showing from him, but I'm back in on it. Oops, I jumped a few, so hold on. I got to go back. We'll get back to you, Fatty Mateo, one of my all-time favorites here. Where were we here? Here you are. We were at this, so I was about to skip bus. Can never skip the bus. Pick 3, Jay Taylor, Hilaire, Chuba, Daryl Henderson. Ooh. Take my last man in here. This is a tough one. I have these guys. I think you literally might have listed. Like Taylor, I have a little bit above all these guys, so let's lock him in. I know I was shitting on him a little bit, Bus, but he's facing the easiest matchup. He's a tier above these guys. And then it goes, I got Hilaire at 16, Chuba 17, and Daryl at 22. So I guess I'm benching Daryl. I don't feel great about it, but there is a risk of re-aggravation. If you wanted Daryl, I think Hilaire would be the next bench, I think. I'd rather have Chuba than him, so I might have to readjust that. But Taylor, Hilaire, and Chuba. Bench Henderson for me in that one. Giuseppe Russo, Happy PR, Sanders, Jamal Williams, Jacoby Myers, Cole Beasley, Renfro, Curtis Samuel. There's only a few to consider here. Come on. You know better than this, Giuseppe. To me, it comes down to Miles. It comes down to Jacoby, maybe Cole Beasley. I'm going to go Miles Sanders, though. The Chiefs are giving up the second most points to running backs. He only had 2 carries last week. This seems like an overcorrection spot where they're like, we fucked up. We owe this guy some carries. Let's pound him. So that's where I'm leaning Giuseppe. And guys, we're almost at 30 likes. Come on, get them all in. Get us up to more people. Share the link out. Get us going. Grow the pack. Help us out there, Wolfpack. And again, check out Thrive Fantasy. It's $25 goes to us for every deposit we get. That helps us out, obviously, full disclaimer. So thank you if you do. But also, it's an awesome app. It does take a little work to get onboarded. If you have any help, hit their team up. You can see that down the bottom, though, all the details. Use code RSJ so they know we sent you. Helps us out. You can win $10K. And their tournaments are filling about halfway through, and they still are guaranteed $50K prizes. So, that's a great chance. We call it overlay in the DFS industry. Tons of overlay in these contests. Bob Woods or Miles Sanders, happy PR. I'm going Miles Sanders. I think he's going to bounce back big. Are you doing any DFS shows this season, Nick? Not yet. I have so many shows throughout the week. I need to kind of keep my sanity. So probably not. But Van Dork, if there's anybody I'll do a DFS show, it's for you. So maybe I'll get back. I usually do it on Saturday mornings, but to be honest, it's been nice having a day where I just don't do anything. So I don't know. We'll see. CJ's still doing prop bets. They'll be up on Instagram, but Giuseppe, we can't hear him. Maybe he can rejoin and I'll just have him talk and I won't be able to hear what he says. But they'll be up on Instagram either way if you need them. I had Brady. And if you like the prop bets, our picks for Thrive Fantasy are up there. Do that. Giuseppe, if you're a prop bet guy, you would love Thrive Fantasy. Check it out. Do us a solid. I had Brady and Herbert. Who do I start? You got to go Brady, Dame. It's Brady. It's Brady comeback week, baby. You got to go Brady. He's coming back to Gillette. You know he's going to be motivated. He's going to put up his points. Happy PR. Patterson, Ayuk, or Sherman. I'm going to go Ayuk here. Honey's and money. I love the name, by the way. Honey's and money, baby. Ayuk. Give me Ayuk here. I think 90% routes last week. I'm into it. I'm very into it. Who do I start? Brandon Cooks or Miles Sanders? I'm going to go Cooks. I'm not benching Cooks until he gives me a reason to. Maybe he will this week, and that would suck, but he's leading the NFL in target share, air yards. Like, the guy's blowing up. Diontae or Pittman, wide receiver, too. Got to be Diontae. When he plays, he's a hog. Absolute target hog at LHO. Mike Davis, Patterson, Jamal Williams, Jay Taylor, pick 2, full PPR. Not Davis. We're going to go Taylor and Patterson tunes. That's where I'm leaning. Need a flex full PPR. Javonte, Michael Pittman, Ayuk, A-Rob Moore. Ayuk. We're going Ayuk over A-Rob and Pittman. Pittman's the next closest, though. If you wanted to go him, I get it. Davis or Evans? Come on, Jair. It's Evans. Back-to-back monster weeks, and the guy hasn't earned his trust for you. As soon as I say he's going to fade. And of all the guys, he seems like the one that's be the most likely to fade. But come on, Mike. It's Mike Evans. Fant or Goddard? I got to go Goddard. Fant, rather. I don't trust these tight end situations where they're nibbling each other's cheese. Not my thing. Not my thing. I have Knox and Cook as my top 2 tight ends. Who should I drop? Should I drop Cook? Yeah, I would drop Cook. He's not worth holding on to at this point. You don't need 2 tight ends of that garbage. Stafford, Hurts, Herbert. You got to move one. You just got to move whoever's more attractive to people because they're all kind of good. This is a tough one because Stafford going to need points against Arizona, bad secondary. But then you got Hurts, the Konami upside. I think I'm going to go Stafford here, though. He hasn't disappointed us yet. Neither really has Hurts, but I'm liking Stafford there. How do you feel about Trey Sermon with the face? from Charlie Preble. I like Sherman. I mean, he gets the number one defense in terms of they have the least, they give the most points to running backs. It's the easy way to say this. And now there's no Eli Mitchell. We saw him dominate the snaps and touches. Chuck did get in there a little bit, but I feel pretty good about him and the workload he should see, Charlie. No hesitation firing him up whatsoever. Someone dropped Robbie Anderson. I scooped him for Rondale. Yeah, they're both boomer bust, and Anderson has the far longer track record, so I can see that, Mike. Pick 3, Corey Davis, Waddle, Myers, AB, Tim Patrick, Robbie Anderson. This is a tough one, Mike. I love Myers today. He's the safest of these guys. I'm locking him in against Tampa. Probably want to get Waddle in there for 13 targets, and I really like Corey Davis today. It comes down to Corey Davis or AB. I'm not going to trust Robbie yet. Of all the games, they're going to need him against Dallas, but still. And Patrick, very safe, too. Oh, man. Tough one, too. This is really tough, Mike. I mean, these guys are all in the same tier, right around the same rankings for me. Mind blender. Thanks, Mike Clay. I'm just going to go the first 3, though. Davis, Waddle, Myers. That's where I'm leaning. AB had the COVID, coming off COVID. Is he going to look like the same? We've seen a lot of people that it hits him hard and takes a while to get back. Start Madison or Hines, unless Cook is out, and it looks like he's not. It looks like he's playing. So Hines, you got to go Hines. I can't play Madison with Cook in. Diontae Johnson, Sutton, or AB. Start 2 PPR. Benching AB here, Cody. Benching AB. Have Antonio. Gibson. Picked up McKissick. Should I stick Gibson? Yeah, even though he's banged up, he's fine. He's fine. He's playing. You got to go. You got to go him, William. Run Corey Davis over A-Rob. I would. I don't trust this Fields situation at all. And it's partly Fields. Again, Fields didn't look good. Like, he was slow in his reads. He wasn't breaking down the defense, wasn't caught on any audibles, but he also had no favors done for him. I just don't know that either of that improves this week either. So, yeah, I would go Davis over A-Rob. See, Christopher Jason, who's this? Longtime listener, first-time commenter with 2 questions. Welcome to the show, Chris. Wish you were here with me, but this is too bad. I don't know what happened with my computer. Maybe hit a Ramondre Stevenson stash article while we're waiting. That'll tell you no, I'm just kidding. Jamal or Damian Harris have PPR. I would say I don't trust Damian tonight. I like the exclamation points and enthusiasm. Dallas Goedert or Evan Ingram. Oh, tough questions here, CJ. But I would probably go Jamal and Evan Ingram. Oh, no, Evan Ingram, really? But nobody else there to throw to. Like, I guess. I think I have him a little the more I think about Ingram, he's a little too low in my rankings with all these injuries around him. I'm gonna be kind of re-ranking him as the show goes here. I'm at 26. That's my 7 ECR, and that's way too much. So I'm gonna reconsider that. Goddard though gets Kansas City, not good against tight end. They're gonna need points. I don't think I'm bumping Ingram that high. I'm gonna go Jamal. I'm gonna go Goddard. Good luck, sir. Grind don't stop. Sure doesn't. Curtis Samuel, Waddle, or Tim Patrick have PPR. Give me Waddle. 13 targets. Give it to me. Sammy Watkins, Pascal, and the flex. Ew. Would you swap for either? Yes. Yes. Jamal Williams. Yes. I don't want either of those guys in. I would probably go Jamal Williams and Gesicki. I don't know, Tunes. That's tough. Gross. Patterson or Corey Davis. Ooh, Jacob Beatty. Tough one here. I like Patterson, but I really like the Corey Davis. I've recommended Corey Davis a ton if you guys have been tuned in here. Maybe I just continue that trend. I think he's going to have a 20-point day. Let's go for it. Corey Davis. Miles Sanders, bounce back week. Yes, sir. Absolutely, Anthony DiLorenzo. I think so. Especially if you bring some more. Nut free by G. I need some more. Love it. Hollywood Brown over Samuel Waddle. I go Hollywood Brown over all those guys. Grind don't stop. Now I see that option. Start Alexander Madison, Nyheim Hines as my RB2. We already answered that one. It's Nyheim Hines. Sanders or Cordarrelle. I'm going Cordarrelle. I'm a big fan of Cordarrelle. I really am. Captain Quint, BK here. Good to see you, brother. I don't know what the name is, but welcome. Mike Davis or Hendy. You got to go Hendy, baby. Got to go Hendy. Mike Davis is just bleh. Like, there's nothing that feels good about that guy. In the teeth of the Washington defense, no thank you. Full PPR, tight end, Pitts or Brate. I'm going to go Pitts, but I still don't feel good about it. Deer season opens up in the morning. Tunes, I'm sure you're out there getting after it, baby, based on your picture. Boo bust, the Wolf. Boo bust. We got the some trash talk. I'll love to see it. Keep it going, boys. Joel Olette. Joel, what's up, man? Chase Edmonds or Trey Sermon. Have a great Sunday. I hope you have a great one, too. I might have to crack a channel marker in your honor, Joel. Where did this end up? Because Trey was definitely below him. But then, the number one defense, the best defense for him to go against in terms of points allowed, Chase Edmonds. I have Edmonds 21, Sermon 25. I guess Edmonds, but it's close. The upside's with Sermon. But it is a risk because he didn't look great last week. It's just more so you're playing the matchup. That's always a dangerous game. Diontae Johnson or Ayuk for Ben. I'm going to go Diontae, but, man, if your gut screamed Ayuk, I wouldn't hate it. But I go Diontae anytime he's out there. A-Rob or A-Brown? I go A-Rob here. I'm nervous about A-Brown's first game back. Should I start Madison? No, you got to go Dalvin Cook, Jungle. Come on. Is there any report that says, D Cook limited, they're going to be featuring Madison? D Cook's, the only an emergency. If that emerged, I haven't seen it yet, then okay, of course. But otherwise, I don't see any reason to consider doing that. Sermon season starting this week, says Schneider. Sure could. This is the perfect week for a breakout. I'll believe it when I see it, though. Sermon or Javonte? I'd go Sermon there with Melvin Gordon playing. If Gordon sits, then of course it's Javonte, though. BK, Mike Davis or Hendy? Answered that one, and it's Hendy. Ingram or Pitts? I'm going to go Pitts. Well, Ingram, he hasn't been shitting forever. I can't be pretending it's that good one. Pittman or Allen Robinson for Ben Tomsick? I'm going to go Pittman there. Benching Robinson, and I know it's very easy to click this and be like, you idiot, when he has 2 touchdowns against the Lions. He should have 2 touchdowns against the Lions. He should have also been better than he hasn't been better than the wide receiver 49 all year. I'm okay putting that on the bench and sending him a message, and maybe it gets him going. So I'm going Pittman. And what double FBA? We got Preserve and Protect from Bissell Brothers. A great one. Up in Portland, Maine. Great stuff. Tannehill or Goff? I'm going Goff there. I don't want anything to do with Tannehill with that weapons cabinet. Kittle's going to play. I got Knox on the bench. I keep Kittle in there, Joel. It's too much upside to put him on the bench. Get Dwelly, later if you can get a late swap going. If there's any reports, Kittle's, really banged up, going to be on a snap count, anything like that, then put in Dwelly. But I wouldn't risk, if you put Knox in, it's over. You can't put Kittle back in. So I wait for Kittle. He's good enough to wait for him. J. Jeff or Godwin, non-PPR. Oh, how do you not have them both in, man? But you must have a squad. I go J. Jeff. I can't bench J. Jeff. He's too damn good. Attack of the Lummy. Goddard or Knox need upside. Knox then. Knox has the upside. The other ones just nibble each other's cheese. Dalvin or Nick Chubb. Ooh, how do you not have them both in here, Dion? Come on. You can't get both of those guys in there? I would go Dalvin if it's one or the other. If Dalvin just does it all, whereas Chubb's more of a runner. But, both are just in my top 7. Woke up and locked in the Sermon over Mike Davis. Never felt so free, says Charlie. Yeah, scream that one from the mountaintops. I would do the same thing, too. Totally agree. You think the Pats vs. Bucks will be one of the most viewed football games inside Super Bowl? Absolutely, Juan. Just to see Brady against his old team on the other side of the sideline. Yes, absolutely it will be. Trade Landon Montgomery for Hopkins and Chubb. Let me see this again. Trade Landon Montgomery for Hopkins and Chubb or Hunt. So it's Chubb definitely over Hunt. And yes, I would do Hopkins and Chubb over Landon Montgomery in a heartbeat. Yes. Jeff Lee. Justin Jefferson or Godwin, non-PPR. Jefferson. Don't ask your questions a million times, please. Full PPR and flex Fournette with Gio out or Waddle. I go Waddle there, especially full PPR with the targets he's getting, Derek. Absolutely. Jay Taylor's active. Thanks for the news, Ben. Figured that would happen, but still. Myers, Patterson, Ayuk, and the flex for Sarai. I go Jacoby. Really big fan of Jacoby this week. Wolf mad props for last week's flex calls. Don't remember who they were. You can remind me, but I'm pumped it worked out for you, Fatty Mateo. Sermon or Tim Patrick? I'm going to go Tim Patrick there. Unless it's standard, then you go Sermon. Should I give Robinson another chance? Or I'd go Kirk. Again, very, very realistic possibility for Robinson to catch a touchdown, to have a beastly day. Not going to be the one. I'm going to have him on my bench. Cortland Sutton versus Baltimore or Amari Cooper versus Carolina today. I'm going to go Cooper there. I think he bounces back. Fatty Mateo, Wolf Mad Preps on the flex call. Gave you 6 guys. You picked the number 1 and 3 scorers. Love it. Love it. Hit the goddamn like button. Yes, sir. Everybody out there, hit that like button. Help us get out to more people. Share the link. Not to your league mates. I get it. But everybody else that you're not facing, let them know where to come for their Sunday tailgate. Start Alexander Master, Naeem Hines by running back 2. Game time decision. John, I've answered this one a million times. No, we're going to get there. Come on, guys. Come on. 100% you said Pittman. All right, Andres. I'm glad I got it right at least. Bus, Evan, Wolf, BK, what up? Good to see you guys. BK, you know better than this etiquette. You've asked Henry or Mike Davis from like 3 different accounts. Come on, get it together. Trey Sermon, Kyle Juszczyk, Tyson Williams, Latavius Murray, pick 2 non-PPR. Ooh, Trey Sermon's my 1. Tyson, I guess, because I can't do both 49ers guys, Jeff. Come on. Have Debo in at wide receiver. Should I start Sermon at my flex, or should I have I'd put in CEH over Sermon, I would say. Mike, what up? Start 1, CEH, Woods, or Edmonds. I go CEH. They clearly like him for sure. Guys, Derek commenting from 2 places. Jeff Lee, this happens again. You're not going to get your questions answered. Again, don't mind the comments and interaction because it boosts us, but don't keep saying the same thing. Ask different questions. Chuba or Hunt? Pittman, Hollywood, or Tim Patrick? Go with Chuba for the full thing, TS. Good to see you, by the way, TS. And then, much clearer full workload for him. I got to go Hollywood here. If he had caught those touchdowns, we wouldn't even be asking about it, Dalvin Cook or Nick Chubb, Dalvin Cook. What's up, Papa? Good to see you, Piffle. Start 1, Kirk, Meyer, Tim Patrick, D. Smith. I like Myers the most. I really do. 14 targets, especially full PPR, man. Get the narrative, but it scares me how much you're on tour. I know, it scares me. Trust me, Mike. Every time I'm on him, he busts. So use that information wisely. Every time I use him, he busts. But I just feel it this week. That's a bad defense. BK, you got to be better than this, man. I'm going to get to the questions. I always do. Flex spot, Corey Davis, Tim Patrick, Curtis Samuel. It's Henderson for the last time. Corey Davis, Tim Patrick, Curtis Samuel. Corey Davis for me. Tim Patrick's the safest, James, but I'm going Corey Davis. Seen that question from actually multiple people, Corey Davis versus Tim Patrick. But I like Corey Davis more. Gyron Slezik. Who do I start? Need 2 running backs. Davis, Henderson, Cook and Gibson. We lead off with that. How's that a question? It's Cook and Gibson. Come on. She made a trade. Keenan, Jay Taylor, and Harris for Tyreek, Henderson, Elijah Moore, and Anderson's bum ass. Thoughts? Now Henderson, there's a lot to go there. I would prefer probably the Tyreek side since he's the best player of this deal, but it's not a clear-cut win either way. And now Henderson, Debo, or Odell pick 2. I'm benching Henderson there. Austin. Tom Brady, Josh Allen. Going Josh Allen, my number 1 QB this week, Rich Rogers. Javonte, Damian, Darnell Mooney, full PPR for flex. Got to start 2. Ugh, Alfred, tough. I'm gonna bench Mooney here. Wolf, you're a legend. I love it. Channel Markers, the GOAT. It sure is, DiLorenzo. Such good beers. Thistle Brothers, not too bad either. Gibson or D. Swift standard. Ooh, Jordan standard. It's close. I still like Swift, though. They talk about ramping up his workload. Big fan of him this week. Kareem Hunt or Darrell Henderson. Brendan Crippen, rather. Oh, man. I'm going to probably go Hunt in a shootout style game. Brady or Allen. Help. Josh Allen, baby. Much love, Brennan. Much love back. Drop Cook and pick up Michael Carter, Gainwell, Westbrook. For someone else you'd recommend. Have Kirk, Moore, Gaskin, McKissick on the bench. You're talking about Jared Cook? Obviously, it's not Dalvin Cook. So, yeah, I guess I would say Carter just to see what happens there eventually. But I love Kirk the most. Like Christian, yeah, you got a decent bench. Hey, Kyle. My name's not Kyle. Pick 2, non-PPR. Stop asking that question, Jeff. That's annoying. You've asked that like 7 different times. So we're going to be on the lookout for you, Jeff. If that happens again, then we will not be answering any more of your questions. Made a trade the other day. Barkley and Kittle for Zeke and Pitts. Thoughts? I don't like Pitts at all. I'd rather the Barkley Kittle side, I think. Bissell Brothers lock of the day. Charlie, you from this area? Whereabouts you from? Bissell Brothers, unbelievable. And there it goes. Wolf, Flex Pittman or Beasley, PPR. Pittman for me, 909. Beasley's better in like the shootout style games. They're not going to need it today. CEH, Woods, Edmonds. Start one. I'm going to go CEH there, Mike. George Kittle, Brandon Cooks, or Devonta Smith. Brandon Cooks for me. I'm Vaughn. He's just been too damn good. Pick 2, Cook, Hendy, Mike Davis, Javonte Williams, Gibson. Gibson, Locke. And then if Cook is Dalvin Cook, it's Dalvin Cook. You've already asked that question a couple times, so stop doing that. Rough morning here, Wolf. Won't happen again. I understand, BK. I'm glad that we got to you at least. But thanks for acknowledging it at least. Guys, come on. You guys know I'm going to get to all your questions. Thoughts on starting Crowder? I don't like it, Dylan, but who's your other options? Hey, dog, 8-something, missed my last question. No worries. Tunes, you can always ask a million times. You're a legend. You know this. Pitts versus Ingram. I'm going Pitts, yeah. I don't trust Ingram yet. Start 1/2 PPR. Tim P or Meyer. I'm going Meyer. I really like Jacoby Meyer at day. Emmanuel Sanders or Waddle, flex. I would go Heggs. I'd go Waddle. Those 13 targets, man, and I think he breaks one this week. Pick 2, R. Anderson, Beasley, Patrick, or Pascal. Not Pascal. I would probably go Beasley, Patrick here. Jordan. Sermon or Javonte. I would probably go Sermon here. Easiest run D and the surest workload. I'm nervous about Javonte getting like the rookie who fumbles it on the 1-yard line type of treatment. I'm nervous about that. Get us to 30 likes, guys. Almost there. 28. Need 2 more. Get us over 30, folks. We've been ripping these questions for you for over an hour. Let's get it done. Edmonds worth a start at RB2 and PPR. Not really. Yeah, he is over those guys. Yes. Thanks. Definitely. Tough matchup, but yes. 2 flex needed. Half PPR. Tyson, Drake, or look to pick up Westbrook and another wide receiver. I would rather play Westbrook than these guys, Brandon. I don't have any interest in Tyson or Drake. If it's down to those two, it's Tyson because he looks good. It's just a matter of the workload being so up and down. All righty, sell high. Sermon after he goes off 9s, you sure could. I think Jack Wilson long term is going to be the guy there at the end. So yeah, let's see what he does. Sebastian, full PPR. Swift or Scary Terry? You got to have them both in there. I love them both. If it's one or the other, I think I'd go with Scary Terry, but who are you playing over Swift? I'm a huge fan there. Jacoby, Waddle, Sanders, 1 flex for Ryan Heggs. I kind of like Jacoby. I really like him. Waddle will be my next man up, though. Half PPR, Galladay, Corey Davis, C. Patterson. I'm going Davis, but if you wanted to go Patterson instead, I wouldn't blame you. But I'm just feeling Davis today. We'll see. Thank you. Galladay or Kittle. I'm going Kittle there, baby. Hunter Henry or Anthony Thursker. PPR football guys. Piffle. Ferkser for the chance at more catches here. No chance anyone asked this. I'm leaning Ferkser, but I don't know. Yeah, I'd go Ferkser there. Piffle, you can ask whatever you want, man. It's not a repeat question at all. And if you guys haven't asked it specifically yourself, it's more that I'm addressing the same people with the same question about 30 freaking times. Like Jeff Lee. Get it together, Jeff Lee. Melvin Gordon, Devonta Smith. I think I'd go Devonta Smith here. I know he hasn't been much, but the Chiefs, the 3rd most points to receivers, most points to QBs. They're going to need points. I'm going to go Devonta. Last question. Fields, Baker, Heineke. This is a 14-person league, so no one's left at QB. I like Heineke here. I'm a big fan, Dylan Harrington, at Heineke. One of my favorite streams of the week. 20 or more fantasy points in all his starts. Now the easiest matchup he's had yet. Let's go. Last question was gross because, T. Higgins been out. That's true. That's a tough one. Fant or Logan Thomas for Giuseppe Russo. I'm going to go Logan Thomas, baby. Let's go. Javonte or Damian Harris? I go Javonte. I'm not a Harris against the Tampa Bay run deep. Of course, Pop, I got you with the likes always. Cheers, brother. Appreciate it. OBJ or Renfro? Come on, Giuseppe. It's OBJ. I'm so into OBJ today. I'm diehard OBJ. Renfro's okay, but that's not even close for me. I like to hear on YouTube. Yeah, that's what I love, Ben. The double likes. Everybody do the double likes. Help us out. Grow on both channels. That's what we're talking about. That's the wolf pack we know and love. Need 1. Half. D. Smith, Tim P. Kirk. I like Kirk there, Ed K. I love Kirk this week. Playing Chubb Henry over Swift. Okay. Well, there you go. That makes sense, Sebastian. Damn, that's a stack team. Herbert or Hurts? OBJ or Waddle? OBJ for me, public enemy. Herbert or Hurts is tougher. I think I'll go Hurts against the Chiefs, though. That's tough. That's a tough one. Actually, I have Herbert at 5 and Hurts at 7 in my rankings. Oh, man. I guess you got to go Herbert. I don't know, public. That's a tough one. Z-Moss or McKissick. I'm going to go Z-Moss there. I don't love it, Steve Shellhammer, even though it sound like you're a fullback coming up the middle. We got Z-Moss, J.D. McKissick, third flex. Yeah, Z-Moss. Darnold or Heineke, bench and Tannehill. Ooh, now it gets tricky. I love Heineke, but Darnold is safer. I think Heineke's the upside play. I'd probably roll the dice on Heineke, but it is safer to go Darnold. Toons hitting us with 3 likes. I love it. 2 YouTube accounts and Facebook. That's the dedication. I love it. Lamar Jackson, Derek Carr. Got to go Lamar Jackson. I'm gone. You're the man. Thanks for your help. Jeff Lee. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your questions. Let's not ask them all a million times because you know I'm going to get to them now. Trust me. I'll get there. And would you start Tyler Conklin or Kyle Pitts for M? I'd go Pitts. It just doesn't feel good, though, does it? I know, guys, it's tough. Not easy, but yeah, I'm going to go Pitts. PPR, you leaning Bob Woods over Lenny? Yeah, I would, Piffle. I don't love it, but yeah, at this point, you got to. Public Enemy 508. Yeah, I got Herbert over Hurts. Thinking Donald over Heineke. Yeah, I'd probably go with that. I think you lean where you're leaning. Keep leaning into it. Trey Sermon or Pittman in Flex PPR, says Billy Benfield. Pittman, 12 targets back-to-back weeks. Ride that target wave to wherever it goes. Ride that target wave, Billy Benfield. All righty, guys. Well, thank you so much. I got a pulled pork to check on. There's the last of the questions. Some lineups to check on myself. So, guys, thank you so much for being here at the Fantasy Tailgate. All right, whatever comes in while I'm giving my spiel, I'll answer. Javante or Jamal Williams. I go Jamal there. Mohammed. But you guys are the best. We really appreciate it. Check out roasteryjournal.com. We breed and feed Fantasy Wolves. And one last time, if you want to do us a solid, check out Thrive Fantasy. Download the app, deposit $10 using code RSJ. We get a nice little kickback because you guys support us. And then you get to play in the ultimate tournament, $50,000 guaranteed. Let me check it right now. How many people are in here? And let me know any feedback too. If you have some trouble getting in there and whatnot, I'll be here to help you out. But let me just check it real quick. How many people are actually in the tournament? Because there is just an insane amount of overlay to go win there. I miss CJay too, Ben. I see you. So in this tournament, there's 2,800 spots and less than 1,600 so far. So 1,200 unclaimed spots. Go get in there, guys. Thrive Fantasy. Check it out. They're great people running the show. Again, they're more than happy to help you out if you're having any trouble with deposits like I was earlier this week. They'll be there to help you get through it. And tons of huge upside to win some money. So good luck, everyone. Good luck, Papa. Chuba or Henderson. I'm going Chuba there. Good luck, Tunes, as well. Good luck, Public Enemy. I'm a CJ Ben. I agree. Good luck, Wolf. Wolfpack. Good luck to you, 909. Best of luck, everybody, in week 4. Let's go. There's going to be no tailgate tonight because I'm going to be too messed up. I've been messed up on Garrett before. We're going to be even more messed up tonight because we got Tom Brady returning. We got a big pulled pork on the smoker. We're going to have a freaking day, and I can't wait. I hope all of you have the best week 4s of your lives. I hope you all win, and thank you so much for being here. In a world full of fantasy sheep, guys, be that wolf at roasteryjournal.com. Fancy Fullback Dive. Support us everywhere. Thank you, guys. You guys are the best.